A local nonprofit organization's mission is improving safety, permanency, and well-being for all children in Polk, Highlands, and Hardy counties. They have a holiday toy drive coming up, and they need your help. All the details are coming up next on Polk Place. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm Brian Lacey, and joining me in studio from Heartland for Children, Veruch Simmons. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
I see working from home is treating you well. As we were talking before the show got started, the funniest thing that came out of you was when you said, "It's good to wear big kid clothes."
Yeah, it's nice to be an adult every now and then.
That's what I tell them every time. It's like SPCA was here, and I'm out there, and I've got like a hoodie on, and I'm crawling around with this puppy on the ground. I'm like, and I'm like, I'll be in just a second, and I walk in, and girls are like, "You just changed." I'm like, "Yeah, I got to put on my big kid clothes."
Yeah. Clean up nice.
Exactly. So let's talk a little bit about what Heartland for Children do.
Yeah, so Heartland for Children, we are the lead community care agency, and as you said, we serve Polk, Hardy, and Highlands, and basically we oversee the child welfare system. We ensure that families are provided with the services when there are those instances when harm occurs, and work to really help those families to build their protective capacities and make those families whole again. And key to our mandate is also permanency. So in the event that is not in that child or children's best interest, we ensure that they find their forever family who are able to meet their needs.
Your job with Heartland for Children is what? What is an average day for you?
Pre or post COVID.
Exactly. Let's talk pre-COVID,
yeah.
because we all want to get back there.
So it really, I serve in this really dynamic position where I do a bit of child abuse prevention, so that may be working with a host of our community partners to tackle some of our challenges, such as safe sleep or child water safety, child passenger safety, and just really looking at reducing some of those high maltreatment or reasons that children die. But then I also serve in sort of a communication capacity for my agency. So doing things like this, events, just engaging with the company and being that bridge between our service delivery and the community at large.
Talk to me a little bit about what you deal with in taking these children from situations that are really bad for them and improving their lives.
Well, we always like to preface by saying that's not the norm for our community. We're really blessed and fortunate that when we look at our numbers, the majority of parents throughout our community, they're protective and they care for their children effectively. Now, in those circumstances where we do go in and there is concern and warrant for children to be removed, we practice a model where we try to ensure that contact and that relationship between the parent and child remains intact, because we do understand that children belong with their family. So we try as best to maintain that. Now, the trauma that you mentioned of a child being removed from their family is the main reason that Rudolph exists, because we, as an agency and as a community, recognize that for the entire year, maybe in some cases, children may be removed from their families, and the holidays is a particularly difficult time for a lot of those children. For most people, the holidays means family. And unfortunately, for some of our children, that's not a reality that they get to experience. So that led to the whole genesis behind Rudolph Roundup, is a community coming together to say, while you may have experienced things in your life that may be beyond your control, we as a community care for you, love you, value you, and this is our contribution to you. We want our children to have as normal of a Christmas or holiday as any other child. So that's really one of the major core beliefs of this Rudolph Roundup project. It's understanding that trauma, understanding that these children may have and continue to experience things that are within the norm, but also understanding that as a community, we're wrapping around them and providing them the support and love. And I think that's one of the most important things that we can do.
So let's talk a little bit about what the Rudolph Roundup is. You guys are on your 16th year?
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about it. What does it take to become a part of this? What is it?
Yeah, well, Rudolph Roundup, it's, for me, Rudolph Roundup starts in July, and it's, a lot of moving parts. But basically, it is a toy drive where we go out and we don't just give children, gifts. We go out to each individual child. We say, tell us what are 2 to 3 things that will mean the world to you come, in the holiday season. And then we provide that specific list to donors. So as a donor, when you're shopping, you're not shooting, from the hip, hoping this child likes this, but you know that what you're purchasing is exactly what this child wants. And, it's gonna convey to them that someone cared enough to give me what I want. And, that's really powerful. I feel like as adults, we're used to not getting what we want.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's something special about that. That keeps that glimmer of hope alive. In children, and it's amazing. How our community steps up and ensures our children's needs are met.
How do folks become a donor for this?
Yeah. So one of the, there are multiple ways that you can support the project. One is to be, an individual donor. To become that donor, you would just reach out to us, whether it is through our email at rudolph@heartlandforchildren.org. That goes directly to me, and I can get you signed up that way. You could call us at 863-519-8900, extension 214. Again, it goes directly to me. Or you can go to our Facebook or our Heartland website, and we'll have links there as well. Where we have like a Survey Monkey. You just fill out your information, and that again comes directly to me, and I will get you signed up, and we'll have a child or how many ever children assigned to you.
You've been with the company for a little bit of time now. Talk about a success story with the Rudolph Roundup that has stuck with you over the years, or every year is there a new success story?
I think every story within itself, is a success, because I always tell, people that, come into our warehouse, for us, we take for granted, all of these little nuances with life, but for kids that, may not have a normal childhood, based on circumstances beyond their control, the feeling that is given to them, it's unmeasurable. But to answer your question specifically, I know last year we had a child that was medically needy, so she was in a hospital care, and they had very strict restrictions about what she can have. It couldn't be anything like with hard surfaces, anything she could put into her mouth, anything like that. And we really struggled, but we just so happened to, one of our donors through a toy drive donated probably, I'd say like a 5-foot unicorn teddy bear. It just so happened on her wish list, it said that she wanted a unicorn teddy bear. So it just worked out perfectly. The hospital was happy. We were just ecstatic to see that
And at 5 feet.
Yeah, yeah. You couldn't get that. You couldn't get that anywhere else. And it was such just an amalgamation of the universe just to provide this. And, we followed up, and the child, she was ecstatic about it because she had been limited in a lot of the things that she could have, but she could have this one thing, and this one thing was exactly what she wanted. So yeah, I think, we're just so blessed with so many positive stories. But that's just, one that really, really stuck with me.
How do you foresee COVID changing this year's Rudolph Roundup?
Well, like everything else, in our community, I think we're blessed to live here. Just, throughout looking at how the community reacted to, COVID with the whole rally around our restaurants. And like that was a really big, Facebook page, and I saw a lot of traction. Just like that with Rudolph, we're now changing our strategy a little bit. So instead of relying solely on like those physical toy drives, we've now created registries with Target, and we should be launching our Amazon registry shortly. So folks who, if you're interested in just buying some items, but you don't necessarily have the means to sponsor an entire wish list, you can just go to our registry and pick up 2 items. We have adapted our safety protocol, so when we have folks interacting with the public, they're following, proper guidance. We've received guidance from our local health department, so we've put practices in place throughout our warehouse. So while traditionally we did give like warehouse tours and things of that, we're not doing that just in order to ensure the safety and the health not only of our staff but also of the children and the families that we serve. So it has changed how we do business, but we don't necessarily foresee major negative impacts.
We've got just a little bit of time left. What I'd like you to do, if you would please, inspire those at home, those that may be watching this, those that see this, to get involved in the Rudolph Roundup.
Yeah. So the message, that I always like to leave with people is to remember that this project is based on serving our most vulnerable citizens in our community. There are children who've been exposed to harm, whether it's neglect or abuse, and based on that, they've been changed. And what the best cure to that is love, compassion, and affection. And one of the ways that we can do that is through giving. And while it may seem like, just a financial giving, what you're actually giving is just that love, that I care about you, that you matter enough that I took the time out to do this for you. So that's really the message that we really like to leave with our donors, is that you're assisting one of the most vulnerable populations in our community, and the impact that you're making is really creating a healthy, loving child. So,
Varuch, I want to thank you for coming in. Most of all, I want to thank you for giving help to those who need it the most, and offering up this program to our community to give back to.
Yeah, definitely always love to be here.
Come back and see me again real soon, will you, brother?
Will do.
Heartland for Children invites you to join them for the 16th annual Rudolph Roundup Holiday Toy Drive throughout December. For the past 15 years, Heartland for Children has coordinated the annual Rudolph Roundup Toy Drive to benefit local children who have experienced abuse and neglect and are receiving services through the foster care system. Last year, over 1,500 children and teens were able to be served through generous donations from our community. Now, if you need more information on the toy drive, you can give them a call at 863-518-8900, extension 214, or look them up on the web at www.heartlandforchildren.org.